Classic Cinema with the Sage Sisters, listeners and followers. This is episode 17. I was back at Story Power 1 something, 100 and something. No, this is episode 17. And today we are talking about a very important movie that has to do with mental and emotional health. And it's called Now Voyager from 1942. And it has Betty Davis, Paul Henreid, Claude Rains, and Gladys
Gladys.
Cooper
Yeah.
plays the controlling mom. And it is one that I used to show in dramatic structure, a class that I taught when I was teaching theater classes. And it's interesting the way it's structured because it has four different sections. There's
Yeah.
the section where Charlotte, played by Betty Davis, has a nervous breakdown and goes to a sanitarium that is run by Claude Rains, Dr. Jackwith. And it's an unusual kind of therapy
Yeah, it's
sanitarium.
more like kind of home living.
Yeah, and he has interesting techniques that he used. He's based on an actual person that the woman who wrote the book, Olive Higgins Prouty, went to see. And he had these new methods, which we'll talk about when we talk about the movie. And then there's the second section is when, fortunately, Charlotte has this really caring sister-in-law who notices that she was on her way to having a nervous breakdown. She's the one who introduces her to Dr. Jackwith, and she has a plan because she's only been in the sanitarium for 3 months. And she's still kind of, even though she's on the road to recovery, she's on the road to loving herself, she's not quite there yet. And so her sister-in-law, Lisa, sends her on this I think it's a 3 or 4 month
Yeah,
voyage.
several months for sure. Right.
Yeah, because she's been gone for 6 months when she gets home. So the second section is when she's on the voyage and she meets Paul Henreid's character. And it's I think there are two catalyst characters in this movie, Dr. Jackwith and Jerry, Paul
Very
Henreid's character.
concrete.
And even though she knows from the beginning that he's married, he is in a sort of similar situation to her. And that kind of bonds them and they become friends and then they fall in love with each other. And when he falls in love with her, that's when she starts to really blossom. So then
Yeah.
the third section is when she comes home and she has to deal with her mom and she has to declare her independence. And then the fourth section is after her mom dies and she's inherited all this money, but she thinks she's the cause of her mother's death and she goes to
But
the
they had RP.
sanitarium
Right. Right. But they need RP.
and she meets Jerry's daughter who's 12 or 13 years old and she and Tina reminds her so much of herself. And she starts to help Tina. And then that's when she really, it's
Right.
like that's the icing on the cake.
Right.
So here's the description of the movie. A frumpy spinster blossoms under therapy and becomes an elegant, independent woman. And we are also going to be talking about costume design because this is one of those where the
It's so
costumes show.
every single, especially Charlotte's costumes,
Right.
shows her growth. It's
Yes.
so pivotal.
Yes.
And yes, it's so great because they don't really have a long lead in to
No.
showing that Charlotte's sister-in-law wants to help her.
Yeah.
Um, and the first thing you kind of really get the clue on is Charlotte was a child born late in life.
Her mother was
Her
in her
mother had her like in her
40s.
40s or something.
Yeah.
So she already had 7 or 8 other siblings that are like
No, no.
probably,
3 brothers.
oh, I thought she said she was youngest of 7. So she had all these siblings that are so much older than her. I would say 25 to more years.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, because they look old.
Yeah.
And
And Lisa's husband is dead.
yeah,
So,
he has died. And Lisa has a daughter, a
mhm,
niece,
mhm.
who she's an interesting part of the story too. So
Yeah.
Lisa asks, her mother-in-law, please don't call him Dr. Jackwith. I
Right.
don't want Charlotte to feel bad. Why not? He's a doctor, isn't he? I mean,
Yeah,
so
I
you
know.
get the real clue right quickly
Right at
how
the beginning.
how very cold the mother is.
Yeah.
I mean, she's much older, and she makes it clear with her dialogue that Charlotte really, she doesn't think Charlotte deserves to have a life. That Charlotte, as you have a child when you're older, she is there to serve you.
Right. To take
So
care of me.
Charlotte is to be my caregiver.
Right.
That's what she's here for.
Right.
And that's what the doctor said when I had her. She'll be the one to take care of you.
She'll
We
be
can
the comfort of your old age.
your comfort of your old age. Yeah. So they give the opportunity because Charlotte is still upstairs. And so he's like, well, I'd like to go meet her. He goes up and you see that Charlotte is carving these beautiful boxes.
Oh, Charlotte comes downstairs first.
Yeah, and it's so beautiful how the mother, oh, Dr. Jack with this, and Dr. Jack, and so Charlotte's like, and she's starting to pour tea, and
Yeah.
her niece, is very cruel to her.
She is cruel.
Oh, Charlotte, fat Aunt Charlotte. And her mom is like, would you be quiet? Stop saying that to her.
Yeah.
And Charlotte's trying to pour the tea, and of course, she breaks down and cries and runs away. And her niece is like, "Well, I it was just, we were just, this is what we always do. We always teach Charlotte like that." And, her mother's like, I was trying to, and I can't remember exact words that Dr. Jackwith uh, uses to her, but basically, like, you weren't helpful at all.
No.
More harm than good.
Yeah. Now, before the tea, he does go up, and you started to talk about that. He
Yeah,
goes
well,
up
so
to,
he goes upstairs with her, and he sees that she does this beautiful work,
yeah.
and she's carving these ivory boxes, and he
Hmm.
asks her questions about where she gets the ivory, and then she talks about how her mother thinks it's a foolish, nonsensical task, and but my mother thinks everything I do is nonsensical.
Hmm.
And she really is quite dowdy, but it's interesting, and I remember the first time Ariel saw it with me, she was like, she's not fat, but they keep acting like she's fat.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, this is another one of those, I think, important themes is the beauty standard.
Well, also, yeah, because Betty Davis wanted to be much fatter.
She wanted to be
She
fatter,
wanted more of a fat suit,
right? And they wouldn't
but
do it.
the
They would,
producer would not, or
because
the
that's
head
the
of the studio wouldn't
no,
do
they
it.
were like, oh no, we can't do
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
Betty Davis, that's the one thing that's so, she never cared if she was shown without makeup, with makeup, her hair ugly. If it was the best thing for the part, she was doing it.
That's right.
She was all in, and she was
Right.
all in showing Charlotte's self-loathing.
Right.
And you get that clue right away with the mother and the niece,
Right.
how it's been acceptable to talk to Charlotte in certain ways.
Yeah. To degrade her.
You just totally degrade
But
her
the
and
other part
not
that's
help her
really
feel worthy. Right.
right. Yeah, they I'm not sure they know how to do that. Make her feel
Right.
worthy. But
Right.
the other cool thing about when Dr. Jackwith goes to her room and sees the boxes, before that, or maybe it's during that, she shows him her book of when she went on a trip when she was
Yeah. Her
20
memory book. Yeah, her memory
with
book.
her
Right.
mom,
Right.
and so we get to see this flashback
Right.
that somebody did love her, but her mother didn't approve of him because he was one of the ship's.
Oh, and when they got caught kissing in the car,
Oh, right,
because they
yeah.
were on a voyage,
He was
her
one of the
mother
officers on the ship.
basically called her a prostitute,
Right, yeah,
prostituting herself for
right,
love. Yeah.
yeah,
So she's the I mean, and like she said, she was 20. She goes,
yeah,
I did have a moment. I did have hope.
right.
I
And
did
he
feel,
did
I did.
say to her, he did say to the mom, I want to marry your daughter. I
Right.
love her.
Yeah.
but he wasn't good enough for the
Nope.
mother. Anyway, so
Yeah.
we get to see that little
Right.
segment.
And that's a really important segment too, where you see how many decades the mother had been picking at her.
Oh my gosh, it's she must be at least 30, but she's probably in her 30s.
At this point, we're thinking maybe because she calls herself an old maid. So we're
Yes,
thinking maybe 35,
maybe.
because
Well,
she
even
still wants to have
25 was
children.
an old maid,
Oh, it's so true. It's so true.
Yeah.
So, how fast she went from this young, vibrant 20-year-old. And then,
Hmm.
of course, you see what she looks in present day. And she's got the thick eyebrows and she's overweight and she wears ugly glasses,
And we
which she
have to
was
talk
wearing
about the
really cute.
shoes.
Oh, yeah, really cute glasses back then in her 20s.
Right.
And her hair was pretty. And
Yeah.
her hair is, they make it look real mousy.
Yeah.
So the costume changed from when she was 20 and these beautiful clothes that she wore and her beautiful shoes to now she's wearing old lady shoes and thick
Yeah.
stockings
Yeah.
and a heavy dress
And that's
that looks
interesting
like
too,
an
because the
80-year-old woman should wear.
right, because the first time we see her, we don't see her face or her whole body,
Right.
only see her
Right.
feet,
Her shoes
her
and her dress
shoes.
and her thick stockings.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And and then we see her dowdy outfit
Right.
and
Right.
but uh
And how she carries herself. This is
right.
the beauty of
And the things she
amazing.
does with her hands.
Right, right. This amazing acting that she's, acting 101, 102, and a 100 million because Betty Davis understands the small nuances of
Hmm.
her character and how she carries her shoulders, how
Hmm.
she messes with her hands all the time and she's just so amazing. Her head, the way she moves her head, she
Yeah.
barely moves her head like she's afraid to move.
Right.
If she moves, her mother will criticize her.
Now, I think it's really interesting that before we even see Charlotte, the doctor, Dr. Jackwith, notices the mother with her
Yes, doing
hands
her hands like this.
like this.
Her thumbs. Yep. Back and forth. Very, very true. I love him too, because, Claude Rains, another amazing actor, he's just really quietly observing and allowing conversation to happen. And
Hmm.
he doesn't really say anything. And he says, I'm just here to observe. I'm here to see if there's anything I can do. And of
Right.
course, the mother's like, huh, what do you think you're gonna do?
She's not
There,
sick.
there's nothing wrong with her. She's not sick. What kind of sick do you think she is?
Mm.
And then of course he tries to say, well, there's an emotional, mental sick,
Hmm.
and she'd poo-poos him.
Right. Yeah.
But and Lisa, her sister-in-law, is so wonderful.
She is.
And she doesn't let any of that stop her from going to help Charlotte.
Right.
And I think that's a really important catalyst in this story as well, because
Right.
Charlotte wouldn't have gotten help if it wasn't for Lisa.
Right. And
Lisa
Lisa
is the
is
beginning of this whole transformation and growth
right.
for Charlotte.
And Lisa is not too far in different in age from
It doesn't
Charlotte.
seem like it. I think Lisa must have married the husband when he was much older.
Yeah, and I think maybe she's 45.
Maybe. Yeah, Lisa. Yeah, because her daughter is probably heading in her 20s, if not already.
Yeah. Yeah.
The niece. So
Yeah.
as then Charlotte, obviously. So he after visiting with Charlotte, going through her memory book, looking at her many compliments this one box. And then of course, Charlotte has tried to hide in the trash can the cigarettes.
Right.
And he's like, well, do you have a cigarette? And she's like, oh, I know you saw them in the trash and I'm not supposed to be smoking. And then she starts to, oh, and kind of get real manic about it. And he's like,
Right.
and he's so great with her. He's like, oh, no, no, no. It's all, and he's just never loses his tone of voice of being calm and calming
Right.
energy. And then I love it when he goes downstairs and the mother's like, see, there's nothing wrong. And he goes, she is very sick and she needs to come with me.
Yeah.
He goes, she's in desperate need. And and I think it's amazing that the mother allowed it because she pays for everything. They're a
No,
very
now
wealthy family.
they don't say that in the movie, but in the book, Lisa's the one who pays for it,
Ha.
not the
And they
mother.
should have said that because I think that's a very key thing. Because
Mhm.
obviously Lisa, I mean, the whole family is very wealthy. So Lisa was obviously left with quite a bit
Oh,
of money.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so she doesn't have a problem even probably thinking about paying for that.
Right.
And you do know that, they're showing the progress of Charlotte. And I love one of the things because it's just a big giant house.
Right.
It's not a sanitarium.
Right.
And it's on this beautiful acreage and there people are playing tennis and playing golf and, volleyball. And there's these wonderful activities going on outdoors as
Right.
well. And then
Mm-hmm.
they show Charlotte in her room and she's weaving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And and I think it's beautiful that they let you know that these kind of activities are very healing. And this
Yes.
is his unusual type of therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And just how he talks to Charlotte, like when she tries to say things like, I know I'm sick in this, and I know I'm not okay with this, and blah blah blah. And he goes, "There's nothing wrong with you.
Right.
That's you're a healthy person."
Mm-hmm.
He never goes to the place of there's something wrong with you.
Well, and
And
part
I
of
think
it,
that's amazing for
we never,
1942.
yeah, we never see their conversations when she goes to talk to him for the talk
No, we have
therapy.
not seen them. That's true.
But I think he probably is telling her, you have every right to feel the way you feel with the
Right.
mother you have, which
Yep.
that's an affirmation for her. She's not, uh, because maybe she was thinking that it was wrong for her to
Oh,
feel the way
I
she
think
did about her
the
mom.
way her mother had raised her is if you say anything wrong about anything, then you're a bad person, and
Good.
and worse things will happen to you. I
Okay,
mean,
I have to,
it's that harder and harder. She hits harder every time.
yes, yes,
Mom always
yes.
hits back harder.
Yeah, she's a bully. Her mom's a bully,
She is 100% a
a
bully.
narcissistic bully.
Yep.
So,
So that's
yeah,
the other thing too is, she's not used to having that positive response back
right.
when you say how you feel.
Yeah, Lisa's probably the only one who
I think
ever,
so. Because even her own daughter's a little bitch. I'm sorry, but her
yeah, she,
daughter is horrendous.
the nice thing is her daughter does learn and change and grow. That's a nice thing.
Right.
So,
She does learn.
yeah,
I agree with that.
I forgot what Lisa's daughter's name is, but anyway, she grows and changes, so that's nice.
Yep.
But her brothers are so much older, they don't really pay much attention to Charlotte, I don't think.
June is the daughter's name.
June,
I was like,
that's right.
it's a month. Oh yeah, June. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, the brothers I think are so off in their own. I mean, I've kind of got the impression they may not have had children
Yeah, maybe
except
not.
for Lisa and her husband, because you don't see any other nieces and nephews floating around
Well, they would be a
when they
lot
have the
older.
family, and they could be. But even if after the
Oh,
mother
that's
dies, that
true.
they're the only ones that show up when she gets
Yeah,
sick.
when they have the family dinner when Charlotte comes home and
Yeah, when the mother
yeah,
fall. That's another interesting we'll get to. So, you know, yeah, they don't take the time to go through their one-on-one sessions. And
right.
and I think that was a wise choice
Yes.
because you don't need to. You start seeing just her environment and the freedom to choose.
Yeah. And then the little interaction, because we don't even see her go to the sanitarium.
No,
All we
we
see
don't.
is when she's about to leave the sanitarium. And the wonderful thing that Dr. Jackwood does when he gives her that short little poem by Walt Whitman
Yeah,
that has the phrase now Voyager in it. And it is a really like supportive, he says, I see you in this poem, a really supportive
right,
way to say goodbye.
right.
And then when she's still very shy because we get an indication when she's on the ship, the next thing we see is the ship stopping at a port of call, and they're
Right.
going to South America. In the book they go to the Mediterranean, but they're going to South America
Oh, okay.
in the movie. And they're going to a port of call, and then that's when we see her feet again with these fashionable shoes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
The
scream.
huge change. And everyone's like, why do we have to wait for her? She's been in her cabin the entire time. What are we
Right.
doing waiting for her? I'm just so tired of waiting for her. And then, they go from the shoes but that's the other thing. Just before when she's packing to go from the Institute, um, Lisa has left her a list and a bunch of clothes
Yeah.
to pack. These are the things you're to pack, and when you wear the clothes, what
Yeah.
time of day you wear it, what event you wear it for. Lisa has just taken care of her
Yeah.
and bought her all these the costumes. Oh my
Well,
gosh, I
they're
just
her
love everything.
she's taken the place of a cousin or something, and they're her
Yeah, yeah.
cousin's clothes.
So she's like got these things for her, and they're
Yeah.
all labeled on when you're supposed. I think it's lovely.
Yeah.
And of course, they're getting ready to depart for a little tour off the boat. And she, like you said, they start with the shoes again, which is perfect filming. And
Yes.
then as you see how elegant, and she's wearing this beautiful hat and this beautiful suit, and but she's, being Betty Davis the way she is, she's still nervous, a
Yeah.
little a little timid about, departing the boat.
I love the event coordinator when he brings
Oh yeah.
Jerry to say, "You're alone and he's alone and we don't have any more cars or
Right,
taxis or
right.
whatever it is." And I'm gonna just put you together. And she's like, "Well, really?" She wants to say no, but
Yeah.
then she remembers. Oh yeah, okay. Say yes. Say yes.
Yes.
Say
Always
yes.
engage because, it's the voice of Dr. Jack with make sure when you're nervous, it's okay to be participate.
And it turns out to be this really great thing,
Oh,
because
yeah. Oh, yeah.
because she finds out somehow she finds out from Jerry that, well, maybe she doesn't find out about his controlling wife until later, but he shows her his family
Yeah.
and the picture with Tina. She can tell right away by the look on Tina's
Yeah.
face. Does Tina know that she wasn't wanted?
Right. And it's the exact same situation that she was born in.
Yeah,
She was born much later in the wife's age and life.
yeah,
And he's like, "How would you know that?" And she goes, "Oh, I know." And you
yeah.
can tell, I just know. So, but yeah, I love how
Their
Jerry,
interaction.
Paul Henry, he dresses amazing too, but his confidence helps with her confidence
Right.
because he can tell she doesn't feel good about herself and is a little timid, and he just talks to her
Yeah.
and wants
Eh,
to show her around and do this touristy thing, and doesn't pressure her into
right.
anything.
Right. Yeah, he's just supportive of her.
Right.
And then when he introduces her to his
Oh, I love his
friends,
friends.
yeah, and then that's kind of the beginning of her making more and more and more
Right.
friends.
Well,
Now,
and really, it's his friend, the wife of the friends.
mhm,
She's the one that goes, "Oh, Jerry, he's just had it so hard. His wife is so awful." And she tells her, he
mhm,
stays with her for, the daughter,
right.
for Tina. And she said, and God bless him for that, because his wife is not a nice person. She's,
Yeah, I mean, they do have another daughter who's a little bit older, but
yeah, but she's already off doing her own thing, she said,
yeah,
she's living her
yeah,
own life. So
yeah,
she's not a part of all that family
right,
dynamic.
right.
And I love that conversation that she and the friend have because Betty
Yeah,
Davis is just knitting and she asks slight questions, but nothing, just, questions that take in the next step of direction and
right.
guide kind of. And she says, but it's so good to see him here and to see him with you. He he deserves to be happy.
Yeah,
And that's all we want for him.
yeah,
For he and Tina to be happy
right.
because they deserve it.
Yeah, now he is on a business trip and he's
Yeah,
only going to Rio. So
right.
they get stuck in Rio. They have a little car accident. I'm not going to tell the whole story, but
No.
they have a little car accident and the ship has to go off without
Well,
um
they're stuck overnight.
she and Jerry are stuck overnight and the
Yeah,
ship has to go off without
yeah.
Charlotte.
Before help comes for them. Yeah,
Right. And that's kind of, I think, when they really start to fall in love with each
yeah,
other is
yeah,
that night that they spend together. Now
yeah,
in the book, and it's not really indicated, it's sort of indicated in the movie that they don't really sleep together or they don't have sex or nothing like that. They
right,
just fall in love.
right.
So they
Right.
are following the conventions of the
Of the
day,
day. Right.
Where that's totally, oh, no,
Yeah,
no,
you
no,
don't
no,
do
you
that.
don't do that.
Well, and she knows he's married, so she wouldn't do that anyway.
Right.
I
Right.
don't think that's within her ethics as well.
Right.
But
But they do
he
kiss each
gives her
other.
this option. He kisses her while she's sleeping.
Right.
But he gives her this option. We can be taken right. You can, I have to stay here, but you can be taken right away, or we could take 5 more days and spend time together.
And
And
yes,
so
and
she
then you
obviously
can meet the
opts.
ship when it gets
Yeah,
there.
and then you can meet the ship when it gets blah blah blah. So she obviously opts for the 5 days, and they have a magnificent time. And
Yes.
you really see her blossoming and getting more confident,
Right.
the way she carries herself, the conversation she's having. And,
Yes.
and then of course the time has come where it's time for her to start to meet the ship. And that's when they really realize that they really love each other. And he tells
Yeah.
her, I'm in love with you.
But
And,
they can't
and
be together.
but she's like, but we can't, they both, no, we can't do this. This is not right. And so they make this agreement that, he
It's
takes
goodbye.
her, he takes her to say goodbye, brings her those beautiful flowers,
Camellias.
camellias, because he nicknames her Camille.
Right.
It's like, why are you calling me that? He goes, well, because I think it's beautiful.
Well, and
So,
it's not for me to say because she's going by Beauchamp, which is her
well, she
cousin's
does.
name.
She does tell him the truth, though. She
Yeah.
tells her,
Well,
Charlotte.
she tells him the truth, but he doesn't think it's his place to tell anybody else. So when he
No, he
introduces
wants
her,
her private,
mm-hmm,
her to make her choices
right,
on who she's going to tell her truth to.
right,
He never guides her in any way
right,
whatsoever. And
right,
this is the point that I think is really important, is this is a strong women's movie.
yeah,
This is a movie about the sign of the times and how women were treated
mm-hmm,
and their expectations of women to marry and have children and to marry well.
mm-hmm,
Still stuck in that paradigm,
yeah,
even after centuries of you must marry for money and position.
right,
And if you're not married by a certain time, you're considered an old maid and it's too late for you and you might as well just give up.
right,
And as the mother says, well, I had her in my older years, and the doctor says she's here to be your companion.
right.
Like, she can't have a life because
Of her own?
I mean,
Yeah,
that's so crazy.
yeah,
So this is that shift of thinking that Charlotte is also having to figure out and navigate for herself.
right,
Is how, because Dr. Jackwith doesn't really make her have the shift. Lisa doesn't really make her have
right.
the shift. This is something she comes to on her own
With Jerry, yeah,
with Jerry, and falling in love with him and spending that
right,
time with him,
yeah,
and just simply being on that cruise as well. It's
right,
one of those situations where even though it's only, 3 months or so, how just being out from underneath her mother's thumb
yes.
and socializing after she and Jerry part, she becomes the life of the party.
That's right. And
You know,
Lisa and June are like,
oh yeah, well,
what?
after the ship has docked, they're all home. Everyone, they're like, "Where is she? Where is she? How come she's not coming off the ship?" And June and Lisa are like,
When
and June's like,
everybody's saying goodbye to
"Whoa!"
her.
And they're all hugging her, and the men are coming up to her and, "Hey, can I call you sometime?" Or, "Hey, we need to keep in contact." And
Yeah.
June, the one guy walks away, and June goes, "Is that such and such the polo player?" And and I love Charlotte. She goes, "Yes, yes, Fatso, that's who it is."
No, roly poly is
Holy
what she calls
poly,
her.
yeah. And June just takes it so well, because and then as they're going to looking for the luggage, more people are, oh my God. And
And
the
Jerry's
crew,
friends are part of the ones who
oh, they're
come.
so
Yeah.
wonderful. And the
Yeah.
cruise director guy, the activity coordinator guy's like, oh my God, everybody just loved you and you were so fantastic and we had the best time. And oh, I wish you could be on all our cruises. And June and Lisa, of course, Lisa is beyond thrilled
Yeah.
to see this woman who has completely transformed
Yeah.
into herself. She
Right.
found herself.
Yeah.
And it was a male director, but he directed a woman's film so eloquently
Right.
and with such sensitivity. It's
Yeah.
amazing he just did a fantastic job.
Yeah, his name is Irving Rapper. And I
Irving
don't know a
Rapper,
whole
right?
lot of his movies, but
Yeah,
I thought it was a
I don't know a lot of his movies either. I looked him up. I'm like, wow, he Now Voyager is kind of like his signature.
Yeah.
That's the wow movie because
And
it
he's the
is.
one that that Betty Davis wanted.
Yes, she did personally ask for him. And you know, back in those days, especially with the studio system, they knew they had star powerhouses that you didn't go say no to very often.
Right. Well, she and Warner Brothers had a lot of arguments.
Oh, they had some
Um,
arguments and she won them all.
yeah, but yeah, but yeah, so in this case, yeah,
Yeah, and he was an excellent choice because he absolutely the cinematography, the filming, the way he films her transformation, the
yes,
way he films the people around her,
yeah,
because the camera shots are really important as well.
yeah,
From
right,
beginning to end, as you say, it's broken down in all these parts. Every scene, the way it's shot is very, very important
yes. And the
because you get,
costumes, I
oh,
wanted to say the
right.
costumes were designed by Ori Kelly.
Yeah,
and
Ori
and
Kelly, amazing.
and they are
Right.
some of the most
Oh,
beautiful. Some of them are so gorgeous.
so stunning. So
The white one that she wears when they go to the concert and she re-meets Jerry again. Oh
right,
my god, I
right.
love that costume.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, I like the one when she's on the ship and she's got the cape and he has to take the tag off.
Yeah,
She's
right.
got the butterfly
Oh man,
on the,
that's beautiful too. Yeah,
that's just stunning. You know, her hair design is really important too.
yeah, and her
Let's not
makeup.
forget about the hair and makeup design.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's black and white, but you see the difference from
Hmm.
even at the end of the film, her hair has changed.
Hmm.
And how it all transforms into this amazing, confident, no questions asked woman.
Yeah.
And when, you know, she knows she's hearing, you know, Dr. Jack with voice in her head when she gets home from this
Right.
trip.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she's your mother. You still respect her, but you can still stand your ground and have a
Right.
decent relationship with your
Which
mother.
it's a little shaky at the beginning, but I love
Heck
when the
yeah.
camellias arrive and she knows Jerry's thinking of her. And then, oh, and I love what she does. It's like a step by step thing
Right.
that night because her mother says, "I've moved you into your father's room so that you can take care of me."
Well,
And
and I told the nurse she can go home. I don't need a
yes.
nurse anymore now that I have you home.
I love Mary Wicks. When
Oh, Mary
she
Wicks is always
first meets the nurse, Mary Wicks character,
yeah,
Dora is her name.
Dora. Yeah.
She's like, now your mother's all set up for the party tonight. And so she's already got the mom
Oh,
figured out.
she's been working with her for months and months and months, so she knows.
I love, she doesn't really even say that. The flowers arrive and then she's
That's
made the
so
decision.
beautiful.
So she has all
Yeah,
her stuff moved back up to her old
right,
room.
right.
And she's got this
Every
beautiful dress that she bought in New York when she got off the ship.
Yep.
And her mother comes in and
Oh,
I
she's
love it.
livid. I love it. She puts her hand on the bedpost.
Yeah,
Her
yeah,
fingers are
yeah,
tapping.
right.
And
Yeah,
Gladys Cooper is amazing.
she is amazing as the
She's
mom,
so
right?
amazing as the mother.
Yeah,
Let's just keep mentioning that because
yeah,
that is not, I mean, it's a fun part to play, but it's a really exhausting part to play
yeah.
because
Now,
there's
I do
no,
want to say one thing that Gladys Cooper's the mom, well, I don't know what her mom's name is. She says, "You could you kindly remember that you are a guest in this house?"
I
And
love that part. Yep.
and Betty Davis says, or I mean, Charlotte says, "Well, if I am a guest, your guest wants to sleep in this
Yes, that's what
room."
I was going to say. Your guest would like to sleep in this room, so please treat me as a guest.
Right.
And she's
So
just so mad.
that's only one of the first shots across the bow.
Uh-huh,
More happened
uh-huh.
when the mom, so she's ticked
Well,
off.
I mean, and I love it because she looks up and she sees her mom tapping her fingers.
Mm,
And that's another one of those click moments, I think. She's like, hmm, yeah, that's not bothering me like it used to.
yeah,
That used to bother me. That doesn't bother me anymore.
yeah.
She's like, okay, well, mom, mother, this is how it's gonna be. And let's just go downstairs and let's see everybody and let's have a nice evening.
But
And
her
so her mother, and
mother,
she storms out of the room and she stands at the top of those stairs and she looks over at Charlotte's room and that's when she makes her choice. She throws herself down the dang stairs.
yep,
And it's amazing she
because
didn't die.
well, I know. Because but she only tore ligaments and Dora's all dressed up like she's gonna leave. But
Well, and I
sh
think that's when it has to be decided Dora's staying. Yeah.
yeah, right. And so they of course the a doctor comes and he's whispering to Charlotte
Yeah.
and
What are you
and
talking about? What are you saying about me?
yeah, Dora just gives her a hot toddy with some
Yeah.
sleeping stuff.
Some sleepy stuff. And she says these amazing things because the doctor's like, she's going to be fine. She just has a torn ligament. And he basically mentions how stubborn she is and
Mhm.
she's cantankerous. And she just kind of smiles like, thank you. And then he leaves and she's like, Dora, come rub my head.
Right.
I need a head rub, you know,
And well, and she says, Charlotte, you have guests downstairs.
go downstairs. No, Dora, come rub my head. I have a headache. And she's like, yes, Queen. Yes, Queen Elizabeth. I love her. And so then she lets her know she gave her a little bit of a sleeping thing. And she's like, oh, my head. And and I love when Charlotte leans over. She goes, Dora, I think you are a gem.
A treasure.
You're just so And
I
she's like,
suspect you are a treasure.
yeah. I'm like, I know.
Well, it's interesting too, the reaction of her brothers, sisters-in-law, her uncle, and
Oh,
aunt
yeah.
when she comes
So great.
in that gorgeous dress and she's got the camellias pinned to the front of her dress.
Oh, yeah.
And
She's
they're
got the
like,
flowers.
yeah,
Yes.
and they're
Oh, yeah, they're like, Charlotte. And she's like, oh,
Charlotte?
yes, I know. I've been gone for a while. I mean, she doesn't even react to it, you know?
I know.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. And we're going to have dinner soon. I think we should start the fire. We never
That's the
have a fire.
sec
She goes, that's the other one. Boom. I'm going to make my own choice. And they're like, we never have a fire. She goes, well, I think it's about time that we do.
right.
And Lisa's just like, you know, and even June's like, yes, Aunt Charlotte. It's just hysterical.
I know.
I love it. But you can tell too that her siblings are pleased.
Yes.
They're not upset with
Yeah,
her.
we don't
They're
see the
pleased.
dinner. We see them leaving
No.
and inviting her to come play cards
Oh,
and
we need to do this and we need to do that.
yeah.
And oh, we're
Yeah.
so happy for you. And they're
Yeah.
hugging her and she feels their love for her.
Yeah.
She
Because
absolutely feels
I
that love.
think they were intimidated by their mom too.
I think they'd always been intimidated by their
Yeah.
mother. I think that she always raised them all that way. I don't
Mm.
think it was just Charlotte.
Oh
And
no.
who knows what their father was like?
Yeah.
It's hard to know because he's not around.
Right.
But yes, I love how they're thrilled for her. And I think they are happy to make her a part of their lives again.
Yeah.
If they ever were able to. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to know.
Now,
'Cause-
somebody else that was at the dinner, I forgot about this. Somebody else that was at the dinner that night
Well,
was,
it was the guy that she knew when she was young.
yeah, Livingston is his last name.
Yeah.
Can't remember his first name.
Lisa brought him.
Right, Lisa
Lisa
brought him.
brought.
And so he asks if he can call on her. And then we
Right.
see a little as time goes on, we see things where she's going out with him
Right.
and the night that she decides she's going to marry him is the night they're going to the concert and then that she sees Jerry again. And she's
Yeah,
already
but then
told
they do show throughout the time that she keeps getting the flowers.
yes, for herself.
Yeah, she buys them for
Because
herself.
he asks her, her Mr. Livingston, can't think of his name. He says because he sent her roses at one point, and she leaves them with her mother. And he says, she says, thank you for the roses. Well, but you always buy the corsage for yourself. And she goes, oh, it's
Right.
just an idiosyncrasy I have.
I just like it. But I love the conversation she and the mother have when she's putting the roses in the vase.
Yeah.
And her mother's like, so you think you caught yourself a good one? She goes, oh, mother, you're pleased.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, what if I am? I mean,
Right.
and she's
Yeah.
kind of trying, you can see her trying to dig at Charlotte, but Charlotte, and then I think it's that point when Charlotte says, is it that point where she says, but I'm not afraid of you, mother?
Oh no, that's at
Or
the
is it
dinner.
much later? So
After
yeah,
the
she's like,
dinner.
"Well,
No,
mother,
that's
you
after
know."
the first night she's home. And she goes up after the dinner after all of her siblings and
Oh yeah,
everybody's left.
that's right. And her mom's getting ready to go to sleep.
Well, I could earn my own living, Mother. As a matter of fact, I've often thought about it. I'd make a very good head waitress in a restaurant, or I could...
You may think that very funny, but I guess you'll be laughing out of the other side of your face if I did carry out my suggestion.
I don't think I would. I'm not afraid, Mother. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid, Mother.
Charlotte, sit down. I want you to know something I've never told you before. It's about my will. You'll be the most powerful and wealthy member of the Vale family, if I don't change my mind. Advise you to think it over. Where's Dora?
You know, she really wants her to be afraid. She
Yeah.
really wants to control her, and it
But I
really
think
bothers
that's
her
the
when she
point
can't.
where Gladys Cooper's character knows
Yeah.
she's not going to be able to bully her anymore,
Right.
but she wants her to stay around.
Right. Well, you know, she's basically saying, I don't need your money. I
I
don't
don't
need
need
your
you
support.
or your
I
money.
don't need you or your money. I can find my own way.
And
that
thank God
really
Dora
bothers.
stays. Yeah.
Oh, Doris, yeah. And that really bothers her mother. You can see how irritated she is.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then, you know, they go out to that concert. She sees him right away when they go to that party afterwards. And that's when she realizes, you know, she had said yes on the way to the party that she was going to marry this man. Of course, then she sees Jerry and she's just like, I can't marry someone I don't love. And then,
Yeah.
you know, her mother later on, her mother is very angry with her for breaking the engagement.
Right.
And that's where they quarrel.
Yeah.
And her mom, and she turns her back to walk out as they're quarreling. And her mom seems like she has some sort of heart attack or something.
Oh, she's had
Or-
heart condition.
But she's been ill for a long time anyway.
Yeah.
So, and back then there was nothing they could do for you. So, she dies and she does blame herself. She's like, it's my
Yeah.
fault.
Yeah.
And
But I
she
love it when she
realizes-
goes to see
yeah,
Dr.
she's
Jack
like, I've got to go back. I got to go back and see how I can heal from this.
and almost immediately after
Right.
she's greeted by the woman who runs the place, she sees Tina and she knows who she is right away because she recognizes
Oh,
her
yeah.
from the picture.
Well, and she sees her and she's all
Right.
sitting alone in a room. You know, she's got glasses, she's got braces, and that just changes everything too. That's
Mhm.
another one of those shiftings where she's like, I can help her.
Right.
I know how to help her.
Right.
And so she begins to just like that first night, you know, Tina's crying in her room.
Right.
And she goes in and she holds her and she tells her that she's lovable and she tells her she's a good person. And,
I know.
you
I
know,
love that.
basically, I think she basically just kind of holds her until she goes to sleep.
Yeah. One of the things that I love, she says, I probably will do a short little clip from that, is she says, everybody hates me. Well, do
Right.
you like them? No, I hate them. Well, see, that's something you have to learn.
Yeah.
She goes, and if it helps you, I like you.
Will they like me then?
Who are they?
Everybody. Oh, there must be something awfully wrong with me.
Do you like them, Tina?
No, I hate them.
And that's something else you've got to grow up with. If you want people to like you, you've got to like people. That's why Miss Trust asked you to cooperate. And that's what Dr. Jackwith means when he tells you to play the game.
I bet you're only fooling me.
You try it and see. In the meantime, if it'll help you any, I like you. I think you're very pretty. Very sweet. All right?
All right.
They start to spend more time together. And so I love it when they're playing tennis and Dr. Jackwith comes out. He goes, so you're changing the way things are done around here. And you think you're running the show now. You know, she gets permission, you know, because he's Dr. Jackwith cracks me up. She gets permission to take her camping, an extensive camping trip.
Right.
This
But she has
outdoor.
to tell she's honest with Dr. Jackwith that she and Jerry had a
And she says,
relationship.
because kind of knows, but the camping stuff is so great.
And also that she gets permission to have her be
Yeah.
live with her.
Oh, well, they go camping and they're having a fabulous time
Yeah.
and they're laughing. That's the thing.
Yes.
The joy that they have in fishing
Yes.
and cooking on the campfire and
Yes.
little mishaps that happen and they're giggling and neither one of them have got to experience a lot of that,
I
right?
know, right.
So,
Yeah.
so she tells Dr. Jackwith she has an idea of what she would like to do, but she would like to bring Tina home with her. And of course, they have to get permission for that. And he gives her permission. And then they show the house and they're having a party. They're cooking hot dogs on the
June
fire.
has her friends
And
there.
June's got her friends over, and everyone's having a blast.
And
Music is playing. It's just this light. And that's another important thing of filming. The lighting of the house changes.
mm-hmm.
It becomes this, all the curtains are open. It's bright inside. Everyone's having fun. It's not this doldrum.
Right.
And
And here's another costume thing.
another costume thing. So go ahead with the costume thing.
Well, Tina has when we first meet her, she looks pretty dowdy too.
And
Her
wearing all
hair's
dark
not
colors. Oh, yeah.
yeah, her hair, it looks like she hasn't washed her hair in a while. And now Dr. Jackwith says to Jerry, because he's it's a test. We're gonna see how they get along together. And he says, "Oh, I've been here before, and it's just this really
Oh,
dowdy,
there's no life
dark."
in this house.
Yeah, and they go in, and immediately there's music and light and
Yeah. Jerry goes, I
laughing
thought
and
this house had no life. He goes, well, it didn't used to.
yeah. And then when Tina comes walking down, oh, June goes out and it greets them. And then when
Hi.
Tina comes walking down the stairs, she's
Oh,
got this beautiful party dress on, and her
and,
hair is
and her
fixed.
braces are gone.
Yeah, I mean,
Not wearing
she's
her glasses. Yeah.
and
Looks beautiful.
Jerry's like, "Oh my gosh, what a
Yeah.
transformation!"
He's like, Tina. And she's like, oh, daddy, oh, daddy. She's so excited. And they hug. And she's like, oh, I just feel so happy. And do you like my dress? And she's just so cute.
Yeah,
And Charlotte is standing at the top of the stairs and he hugs his daughter and he goes, and he says to her, I love you. But he's looking obviously at Charlotte.
right.
Goes away for a little bit. But then they show Charlotte put out these blueprints. And she's showing Dr. Jackwith all the stuff she's going to do with the house and how she's
No,
going to
it's with his
and his
sanitarium.
institute, but she also wants to do with the house because she's like, I want my house to be this and I want the institute to be this. And she's just running all these things and she's going to put her money towards his institute. And he's just like, so, wow. It's really funny. And she's like, and he's just looking in awe at her. And he's just like, wow. And she's like, what? She's, eating food and she's just not thinking anything of it. He's like, I'm just impressed. I'm impressed. And she goes, oh, silly. It's kind of funny. She just kind of like, why are you so impressed? It's just really cute. And then, she realizes he's like, hey, Jerry's in the other room and he's kind of upset. She's like, oh.
Tina says,
He's like,
she
Daddy
said,
wants to talk to you.
yeah,
So he's in the library and he goes in, he's like, I can't have you do this. You're sacrificing yourself for my daughter and for me.
Mhm.
And blah, blah, blah. And I love how she's like, excuse me?
Yeah,
I'm doing what?
yeah.
It's one of those best scenes where she has to let him know she has made clear choices.
Yeah,
And she's not doing anything with blinders on.
yeah,
This is my choice.
yeah,
When I met your daughter, I realized this is something I could do that mattered
yeah,
and gave her a sense of purpose
right.
to help someone who was just like her. And she's like, Jerry, don't you understand? We could do this together.
Right.
This is something we can do together to help her. And then at some point, I don't know where, I can't remember where, he lets her know his wife has been ill
Yeah,
and she's not well. And he's having to spend quite a bit of time kind of nursing her as well. And it's been kind of a hardship on him as well. So she's like, no, we're a team. She's like our daughter, because and he starts to see the light. And of course, then he wants to embrace her and kiss her and tell her how much he loves. She's like, no, no, no. I promised Dr. Jackwith I would do this all the right way.
Right.
We cannot do this
Right.
way. And it's hard for him because
But you can come and visit because
but you can
people
come
here
visit.
love you.
We can do all this together, but we have to be honorable. And
Mhm.
I love that they have that, because I don't care what era you're in. Dr. Jackwith knows in marriage, whether it's happy or not, there's an agreement.
Yeah.
And he wants to make sure that they're both upholding that agreement that was
Yeah.
made in their vows.
Yeah.
And cheating is not okay.
Yeah.
And I like I said, I don't care what era you're in. They're not, oh, I can't control myself. I just have to do this.
Right.
This is a mature, well thought out story.
Yeah. It is.
And I love the maturity of it. Period. It's emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
And
And we know at some point they indicate his wife may die, and if
right.
that happens,
And
then they'll get married.
and he sees, I think he loves her more because she wants to honor that.
Yes.
And he's like, okay, let's do this. And I love the very final, let's not ask for the moon, Jerry. We have the stars.
Right.
Which means anything is possible.
Right.
The ending of the possibility of the impossible, it's all possible.
Yeah.
And how love can transcend into something. It doesn't have to just be physical.
Right.
It's this soul connection that they obviously have.
Yes. It's
And
spiritual.
that spiritual,
Yeah.
more than even, people love to use, I think soulmate sometimes gets thrown around too much.
Yeah.
But that spiritual, deep emotional connection that they have, like
Right.
they just get each other.
They
without
do.
words.
And I love that she gets angry with him when he thinks that she's sacrificing too much, because
I love it too.
because she realizes he's not thinking about what Tina needs.
Right. She's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
First of all, this is my choice. And are you thinking about she just really lays
Yeah.
it out. It's intelligent writing.
Right.
It's, it's so beyond 1942 thinking.
Yes.
Because, honestly, it's so easy to write a script that they could just fall in love and we're going to leave our spouses for each other and not give a hoot and holler
Right.
about what happens to everybody else. This
Right.
movie is nothing like that.
Right.
It is absolutely well thought out. How could this affect someone else? And
Yeah.
this is about the well-being and the focus, and how she wants to focus on not just Tina. She wants to create this institute that gets broader.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing that I love about her journey is the final thing in the final section of the movie is where she realizes helping other people is one way to love
yes.
yourself.
Yes.
Is to
Yes.
find
And her
confidence and
purpose. Her purpose is like,
yeah.
oh my
Right.
God, I get what I'm here for.
Right, exactly.
And it's so beautiful. And like Ariel said when we were watching it last night, she goes, they film it, and I don't know what kind of overlay they do on the film. That's another thing that's graduating it. When they first, it's harshness on her face.
Yes.
And the softness that they create
right
throughout the film is absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And she like glows.
Yes.
She's just this light being.
Right.
And they do it with Tina too.
Yeah.
They do that similar lighting for Tina as well, where she just radiates. And I think what's really important is Charlotte didn't get a chance to do that for herself at 13 years old.
No.
There was no chance given for her.
Right.
She wasn't going to waste that time for Tina.
She didn't have anybody who could
No, she
be.
didn't have an advocate.
No, she didn't have, because who knows? Lisa might not have come along until a little bit later when she was a little
Oh yeah,
older.
no, there's that's not said at all. Although Ariel and I both talked about we would like to read the book because um
It's good.
I just know that there obviously I think the 40s was a turning
Mm-hmm.
shifting. World War II, all there was a very big shift in filming of mental health.
And also women's stories.
Women's stories. Well, I mean, there definitely were some like, pre-code.
Mm-hmm.
There's one with it's called Babyface with Barbara
Right.
Stanwyck. Another one
Yes.
that just totally, oh my God, I love that movie so much. And then there kind of some shifting happened because of the code system, you
Right.
know. But yeah, I think the 1940s was a really important shift in telling, and I think I remember a film historian on TCM was talking about it once that they believe a lot of the reason why the shift started happening during the war, World War II, is because so many men just weren't around,
And women
and
had to do
and
men's
and women
jobs.
had to do the men's jobs.
Yep.
They
Mm-hmm.
had to go to the factories.
Our grandmother was like
Our
that.
grandmother was one of them.
She was a
You
Rosie the
know,
Riveter.
she was a Rosie the Riveter, and that completely changed how movies and how writers started seeing women
Right.
as these amazing, strong beings, not
Mm-hmm.
just a
Mm-hmm.
woman and not
Right.
just a sex symbol.
Right.
And that's the thing that's important about the costumes in this film is they don't build it on her sexuality.
No.
They build it on her confidence.
Yeah.
It's not intended to be she's sexy.
No.
It's intended to be, I mean, the whole teamwork that happens in this film is stunning. It's
Yes.
absolutely stunning.
It
The
is.
costumer, the director, the cinematography, the background, everything. And then
Yeah.
of course you pick these amazing actors to be in this film.
Yeah.
And I absolutely understand why you showed this to your students time and time again because it's a perfect film.
It is. It's so good.
I mean,
And
I
my
mean,
students
I
loved
cry
it.
at all the same scenes every time I
Oh,
watch it. I can't
yeah.
help myself.
I
I
know.
when she's being belittled by her mother, you feel that in your
Oh,
soul.
oh yeah.
And like it says, really honestly, I was reading a user review and they said this is a fabulous film that shows you all the forms that abuse can come in.
Yes, and not only that, it also shows you how you can deal with that
Right.
abuse.
How the
That's
abuse
why
is not
I showed
physical.
it, because
This
it gives you
emotional abuse,
tools.
right? The tools, right? This emotional abuse and how it breaks you down and breaks you down
Right.
when you're hit with it constantly,
Right.
constantly,
Right.
constantly.
Right.
That's poor parenting.
Oh yeah.
That's how you can really hurt your kid with
Right.
just your words.
Right.
Just your energy of your words is everything.
Yeah.
And to learn how that doesn't have to be Lisa, she was the angel. She was the
Yeah.
angel that came in and went, I am not going to let this continue.
Yeah.
How the deep love this strong woman had for her sister-in-law.
Yeah. Yep. So she had a lot of advocates help her along the way, but
Right.
she had to do the work. And I love that's one of the
Right.
things that Dr. Jackworth
Yep.
says.
He does.
Okay, we're sending you on this voyage
Right.
so that
Right.
you do learn to do the work.
Yeah. This is your independence,
Right.
starting up just the next step of this independence and
Right.
finding you.
Yeah.
And once again, he was even surprised when he saw her
Yeah.
transformation. He was like, "Whoa, I knew it was going to be great, but I didn't know it was going to be that great."
Yeah.
I mean,
When they come to
he's
the house
like,
that night. Yeah.
right. He's
Right.
like, "Whoa, okay."
Yeah.
It was really so it's so touching.
Yes.
And and really I I just appreciate from beginning to end you some people I've talked to like, well, but they, it's not that, oh, they walk away in the sunset. I'm like, but that's boring.
Oh yeah.
That's not real life.
Yeah. Well,
This is real life.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of my favorite movies with women that hopefully we'll get to talk to about, where the people that they thought they loved, the women, sometimes it's the women thought they loved this man and then they
Oh
realize,
yeah.
oh, that
Oh
was
yeah.
just a
Right.
fantasy. Or they were in love and their husband died and now they're blossoming, they're learning who they are
Yeah.
without
And
their
we
husband.
definitely need to talk about those films in the future because,
Yeah.
and
So,
and once again, I mean, I really encourage my children. Like Shane wants to be a filmmaker. I'm like, and he's really starting to watch these classic films, and he's really embracing them. And so, because to me, this is why filmmakers do what they still do because of these filmmakers
oh yeah,
that
they
came
build
before.
on what, yeah. Oh yeah.
And I said, I just really, and that's why, he's watched um, so many of the things that I have suggested. And this is another one that I think he would just love. Like, and that's part, a huge part of what brings these emotions for you. It's not just the acting.
Right.
It's the costumes, it's the set directing, it's how the camera shots and
It's the
how the softness or hardness is,
Yeah,
everything.
it's the pacing of the movie too, because
Yes, yes,
this story is like a whole year
oh,
long, but
yes, yes,
they only show the most important parts of it.
right.
They don't
And you don't feel like you've missed out on anything.
Right. Because they fill in that information with little line here, little line
Right.
there. Yeah. Yeah.
You feel like you've missed out on nothing. I mean, it's a
No.
2 hour and what, 16-minute movie?
Yeah, it's kind of long.
It's but it's so worth the time. You get something fresh from it every time
Oh
you watch it.
yes, yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
and I think, I started watching it when I was young, and for me it was, oh, the love story, but then it
Mm-hmm.
grows to be so much more.
Oh yeah.
And it really is a mental health, the beginning of deeply caring about what happens to you
And
mentally and
emotional
emotionally.
health too.
You
Yeah.
know, that emotional maturity and emotional resilience.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
emotional resilience
Yes.
is, you can't you can't replace that.
Yeah. Right.
That is what gives you life.
Yes. Right.
To know you can do it
Yes.
no
Exactly.
matter what.
Yeah.
You can walk through those troubled waters and know you come out the other side, and
And heal
you're safe.
yourself. Yeah.
You've
Right.
been cleansed. You're like, oh my God, I know who I am now. You know,
Yeah.
and I think that's another thing, that's another important part of this movie, is the reason, like you talk about the different stages, is it doesn't stop.
Right.
It continues.
Yeah.
That growing process does not stop.
Right.
And that's
Right.
important to know that.
Yeah, she's going to continue to grow
Right.
and contribute to society
Yeah.
and help Tina and maybe
Right.
even help other people like
Right.
Tina
And
eventually.
the other thing is too, I think is important, is how she grows and she learns these things. And
Right.
she didn't go to school. She's not a
Right.
psychiatrist, but she
Right.
learns these things and she wants to contribute. And
Right.
how she gets to contribute without them going, well, you don't have a degree.
Well,
It's just this natural process.
she's been through it, so that's how she
Right.
knows.
And that goes to show you that your wounds are your gift.
Right.
That is, if your wound is your gift to others, because you share it, you grow, and you can say it without saying it, that I
Right.
understand you. I get you.
Yeah.
I know where you've been and
And
where you're
Dr.
at right now.
Jackwith is quite unusual since he knows that,
Right.
since he accepts her.
Right.
Because how many times do we watch something and the police or the FBI or the
Oh,
psychiatrist or the doctors think they know
everything.
everything?
Right.
He doesn't
And
assume that at all.
the really, you can have, this is really what I want to say, is your mess is your message. That you can
Yes.
have a mess, but in the end, when you are given the space to find yourself,
Yeah.
what an amazing message that can be.
Yeah.
To let people know you're not alone.
Right. Exactly.
And because, as Brene Brown says, we're all looking to have community.
Right.
And
Exactly.
that's what this is. She has created a community in her home, and she wants to create a community at his institution.
Right.
That's what that's all about.
Yeah.
And it's really not hard.
No. Well, once you love yourself, it's so much easier.
It's so much easier. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, please watch this movie. I
Yes.
encourage you. It is it's going to affect you differently than it does Lucinda and I. And we hope it affects you in the positive way that it has
Yes.
affected us our whole
Right.
life,
Right.
you know. And it's really timeless.
It
It's a
is.
timeless story.
I think so too. I think so too. So the next one is, we're still on the mental health thing, and the
Yeah.
next one is Home Before Dark. It has Gene Simmons in it and Ephraim Zimbalist
Yep.
Jr.
Yep.
And let's
So
see,
good.
oh, there are some other people in it that I can't think of right now that are really important. And she is a woman who is at the very beginning coming out of an institution.
Yep.
She's had a mental breakdown. And it's her journey, which is different than Charlotte's, which is kind of
Right.
cool. We get to see something a little different.
It absolutely, like, again, once again, it's this time where they started realizing not everybody has exactly the same emotional
Right.
breakdown, the same experience of why they're having a breakdown or why they have.
Right.
It's really they're teaching us.
Yeah, the circumstances are a little
Right.
bit different. Yeah.
Right. And
So,
this is another one of those. Gene Simmons. Oh my gosh.
yeah, she's so good. And I love Ephraim Zimbalist Jr.'s
Oh yeah.
character in this.
Yeah. I
I
agree.
just
I
love him.
it's really, really a profound film as well. I agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah. So, we have a growing community on Facebook, and
Yes,
we've been
we
having
do.
fun conversations back and forth with people about what they're watching for Halloween, which we will have a special Halloween movie for you.
Yes.
We're not going to tell you about that yet, though. And then, and so you can join us there, or you can join us here because we do have some people who make comments here finally now. So that's really good.
Yay, I know.
Yeah, so like us, subscribe, go join our Facebook community, and go watch classic movies because you can learn a lot.
Oh yeah. So amazing.
So until next
All right.
time, bye.
Bye.